Hello everybody and welcome to our reaction series for The Mandalorian Season 1. We are finally at Episode 8, the season finale. My name is Sean O'Connell, the Managing Director here at CinemaBlend. By now you have probably followed me on this entire journey as we were introduced to Mando, all the different players in his universe, and of course the sweet child, Baby Yoda. When we last left them, they were in a pretty tough spot, and so I've been waiting this entire holiday week to find out how they're going to get out of this difficult situation and what's going to happen to the baby once he got picked up by those stormtroopers on the speeder bikes. Before we all begin, you're going to go down and hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, because then when we put up new videos on our YouTube page, you guys come right over, you watch it, you react in the comment section, and all is right with the world. So without further ado, the season finale of the first season of The Mandalorian. Let's watch it together, shall we?
Knock it off.
Hey, son of a bitch.
I am this child's nurse droid and require that you remind him to me immediately.
The child is saved. Redemption. I dig it. Oh boy.
They're setting up an E-web.
It's over. I found the sewer vent.
Let's get the hell out of here.
It's assembled. How long until that thing's cleared?
Blow it.
I'm out of charges.
Your astute panic suggests that you understand your situation. I would prefer to avoid any further violence and encourage a moment of consideration. If you are unfamiliar with this weapon, I am sure that Republican shock trooper Caracinthia Dune of Alderaan will advise you that she has witnessed many of her ranks vaporized mid-descent, facing the predecessor of this particular model. Or perhaps the decommissioned Mandalorian hunter, Din Djarin, has heard the songs of the siege of Mandalore, when gunships outfitted with similar ordnance laid waste to fields of Mandalorian recruits in the night of 1,000 tears. I advise disgraced magistrate Grief Karga to search the wisdom of his years and urge you to lay down your arms and come outside.
What assurance do you offer?
If you're asking if you can trust me, you cannot. The assurance I give is this: I will act in my own self-interest, which at this time involves your cooperation and benefit. I will give you until nightfall, and then I will have the E-web cannon open fire.
Nightfall.
It's Moff Gideon.
No. Moff Gideon was executed for war crimes.
It's him. He knew my name. I haven't heard that name spoken since I was a child.
On Mandalore?
I was not born on Mandalore.
But you're a Mandalorian.
Mandalorian isn't a race.
It's a creed.
We've seen this flashback about 1,000 times. Is it finally gonna amount to something? That metal guitar. Boba Fett? No. Waiting for Boba Fett to show up in this show. He's probably never going to. They all look like Boba Fett. They're all Boba Fett. A whole team of Boba Fetts. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. That's a cool shot.
I was a foundling. When I came of age, I was sworn to the creed. The only record of my family name was in the registers of Mandalore. Moff Gideon was an ISB officer during the Purge.
That's how he knows who we all are.
Wheel has been terminated. I am fulfilling my base function to nurse and protect.
Oh, cool. Baby Yoda loves carnage. Oh. Oh. Awesome.
Cover me!
Yeah, go. Oh my gosh. Oh. Mando. Ooh.
I'm gonna need to take this thing off.
No. You leave me. You make sure the child is safe. When you get to the Mandalorian covert, you show them that. Tell them it's from Din Djarin. You tell them the foundling was in my protection.
Yo. Look at this dude. Alright, badass. Oh, you savage. No, he's tired now.
Escape and protect this child. I will stay with the Mandalorian. I need to remove your helmet if I am to save you.
No living thing has seen me without my helmet since I swore the creed.
I am not a living thing.
Ooh. Oh.
This is a Bacta spray. It will heal you in a matter of hours.
We need the Mandalorians to escort us to safety. Did you know about this?
Did you? No!
It was not his fault. We revealed ourselves. This is the one that you hunted, then saved?
Yes. The one that saved me as well.
From the Mudhorn.
Yes. Its species can move objects with its mind.
I know of such things. The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi that fought with such powers. Its kind were enemies, but this individual is not.
What is it?
It is a foundling.
Like you.
You must reunite it with its own kind.
You expect me to search the galaxy for the home of this creature and deliver it to a race of enemy sorcerers?
This is the way. By creed, until it is of age or reunited with its own kind, you are as its father.
Oh.
This is the way.
This is the way.
You have earned your signet.
Is it gonna be Baby Yoda?
You are a clan of two.
Oh. And now we know what season 2 will be about.
I have one more gift for your journey. This will make you complete.
Ooh. New accessory that you can add to your Mandalorian toys. Available now in Target.
Hey, Mando, where are they? I said, where are they?
Oh! Oh! Oh, I've never seen their faces smashed like that. Oh! Stormtroopers are the worst. They get nothing accomplished. Ever. That looks awesome.
No.
Oh my gosh.
They're flanking the mouth of the tunnel.
They will not be satisfied with anything less than the child. I will eliminate the enemy, and you will escape. I can default to my secondary command.
But you'll be destroyed.
And you will live, and I will have served my purpose.
What are you doing?
Manufacturer's protocol dictates I cannot be captured.
Aww.
I must be destroyed.
Good callback to that first episode. Oh man, between Queel and IG, these are some good sacrifices. These are emotional moments. Look at this! Like the saddest version of It's a Small World I've ever seen.
Hey, let's make the baby do the magic hand thing. Come on, baby. Do the magic hand thing.
I'm not.
Here he comes!
Whoa. Oh, cool. Nice! Nice!
Any more stormtroopers?
I think we cleaned up the town. I'm thinking of staying around just to be sure.
You're staying here?
Well, why not? Now that the scum and villainy have been washed away, it's very respectable again.
As a bounty hunter hive?
You will be welcomed back into the guild with open arms. So, go off, enjoy yourself. And when you're ready to return, you will have the pick of all quarries.
I'm afraid I have more pressing matters at hand.
Is Mando's ship in the end of Rise of Skywalker, I wonder? If anyone spotted it, head to the comments and tell me, please. I'd be very curious.
I didn't think I'd see this again. Why don't you hang on to that?
I mean, clearly he's not dead. You don't introduce Giancarlo Esposito and dismiss him that quickly. Yo, he got a dark saber? What? 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 Oh, Taika directed this? I didn't know. That's great. He's got a dark saber? Oh, that raises a lot of questions. All right, let's dive into it. Wow, a lot of payoffs in episode 8 of season 1 of The Mandalorian, starting with his mask gets removed. Great moment between him and the IG, where the IG essentially confirms, like, I'm not a living being, so I can see you with your mask off. And Pedro Pascal was beat up, man. He had taken a beating over the course of this entire season. And that was a great payoff of him finally getting to take his mask off. Loved a lot of the stuff that we learned over the course of this episode, including his name, Din Djarin, and his origin story, which we've been getting teases of little by little, but we finally find out how he's picked up by the Mandalorian Guild and recruited into it. And we could learn a lot more about his training and why he's so good at the idea of bounty hunting, at the idea of surviving, how skilled he is. Emotional losses. Queel obviously was the one that was devastating. And again, I'm going to give credit to the show for committing to that and not backtracking, because that was a really emotional way to end episode 7 with the loss of this character who had grown on the fan base necessarily. So Queel remains dead, and then we lose IG-11 in an act of sacrifice in order to save Mandalorian and Cara Dune. And a good sort of throwback to the first episode, which is cool that Taika directed this, because obviously he was the voice of the droid and was trying to self-destruct in the first episode. Mandalorian prevented him from doing that, and it pays off later on. Good, really great arcs that continued from the earlier parts of the season to the later parts of the season, which again is I'm not going to compare the TV series to the current films that are taking place in the theaters, but you know, those payoffs that I wanted to see in Rise of Skywalker that didn't necessarily occur seemed to have played themselves out in The Mandalorian. And that's basically what happens when you plan your story and you tell it out in advance and you work towards a natural conclusion instead of trying to just negate everything that happened in the episode prior to. But I digress. Moff Gideon ends up becoming a really great villain, and by the end of the episode, he's holding a dark saber. Now, I recognize the dark saber from the animated shows. I know that characters have had the dark saber on Rebels, and if I recall, the dark saber showed up on Clone Wars. I kind of remember Darth Maul holding the dark saber, but now I'm gonna have to go back and really research what that is. I didn't expect to see it in live action. That's pretty impressive. And what does that tell us about Moff Gideon? I don't think that it necessarily means that he's force sensitive, although it could imply that he is. His backstory is going to be a lot of fun to explore in season 2. And then, of course, in this episode, they essentially map out loosely what the plot of season 2 will be, because Mando gets his signet, and it is a clan of 2. So it's him and Baby Yoda, committed to the mission to reunite him with more of his species. And Disney, you were not prepared for the merchandise demands of season 1 of The Mandalorian. It's really funny. I was shopping in the mall the other day and went through the Disney store briefly and saw a sign that said, "The child has arrived." And it was an empty shelf, and it said, to find Yoda merchandise from The Mandalorian, head to our online store, because I'm sure that you're just churning these out as quickly as possible because people want them. You didn't have them. And now if Baby Yoda is going to get reunited with his entire race of like-minded Baby Yodas, you're going to want to sell a lot of these things. Star Wars fans love merchandise. How do you not know this? How are you not aware of the fact that Star Wars fans love merchandise above and beyond all else? It's George Lucas's favorite thing in the world, and that's why he's constantly introducing new things. This episode, of course, gives us the what I'm sure is going to be the most memeable Baby Yoda moment, which is, "Come on, baby, do the magic hands." Do the magic hands, and he gives that little 3-finger wave, which, hold on, it's probably that, right? A little three-finger wave. Not clearly knowing what the magic hands is, but if that's not all over social media by the time that this video drops, then I'm doing Twitter wrong. So love the season. Ultimately loved the season. While I admit there are a few episodes in the middle that felt standalone-ish and filler, I call them filler. Yes, they taught us little things about Mandalorian as we went along, and now that the season's ended, there are things that were teased, including the arrival of certain characters that I'm not sure if they necessarily paid off, unless that was Moff Gideon at the end of episode, was it 5? Out in the deserts of Tatooine. Remind me, is that what that is? Do we think that was Moff Gideon? Was he on the trail of the child and the Mandalorian the entire time? I guess it's possible. Yeah, I guess it was. It probably was, now that I think about it. And, then there were characters that we met in different episodes who did circle back around, who ended up becoming really important. Gina Carano becoming an important part of the last 2 episodes. Carl Weathers, obviously, factoring in and becoming another ally for Mando, and being left on the planet of Navarro, and obviously able to return for season 2 when we get there. So, boy, the long wait begins right now. Mandalorian Season 2 does not have a release date as far as I'm aware. Disney Plus has confirmed the fact that it's happening, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni obviously have ideas for where they would like the story to go based on the way that things are all teased out, and this was a success. I mean, it's dominated our pop culture conversation. I think more people are talking about it than Rise of Skywalker, and so at the same time, I don't necessarily want them to fast track it. Take your time. Develop the series. Make it as quality as it should be to match the standards established by this first season. We're willing to wait. Give us some more original content on Disney Plus. Disney, while you're helping us wait, some Marvel shows would be nice. I could get behind some Marvel shows. Some more of the Imagineering series. That's a lot of fun to watch also, too. But when we get back to Season 2 of The Mandalorian, I see no reason why we're not going to do a reaction series to this. I want to hear from you guys now. Go down to the comment section. Tell me what you thought about not just Episode 8 of the first season, but what you thought about the first season as a whole. What did they do right? What did they do wrong? What would you like to see them do in Season 2? And what would you like to see them not do in Season 2? I want to hear all of your feedback, so head down to the comment section, weigh in on this episode and the season as a whole. While you're down there, of course, if you guys haven't done it yet by now, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, share the channel with some friends, tell them they should subscribe too. We're putting content on CinemaBlend's YouTube page all the time, and we want to make sure that whenever we drop a new video, you guys are able to come and watch it with us.